Hi everyone, this is Linda Hicks with Scrap Stars Paper Crafting, and today is Sunday Paper Fun with Linda Hicks, and I have a really cute card to show you. I'm going to be using, let me show you the stamp set. I'm going to be using the Perfectly Pairs. This is I believe this is online. It's not in your catalog, and they have this gorgeous paper. But look at this. It has these really cute pairs, and then there's a die set that goes with it too, where you can cut out the pairs even in the paper. And I love that little long vine because I can use that for a lot of different things. So let's show you the paper really quick. I think I'm going to turn the camera around to show you the paper because it is gorgeous. You're going to love it. All right, so let's see. We'll let you see my ceiling for a minute. And there we are. Okay, so the paper is called Patently, I think it's called Patently Pairs, and it is so pretty. This first page I'm going to show you, you could use that for a scrapbook page. I mean, it's got the borders all around. All you'd have to do is put a couple little pictures on there. Isn't that really beautiful? And then, of course, they're all two-sided, but look how rich and gorgeous this paper is. And here's another one. This is the paper we're going to use today for our card. Here's another one. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love this paper. And then this is the piece of the paper that I was telling you about that actually fits the dies. So you can cut out these pairs to go on your cards or use them as embellishments with your layouts or whatever. And the nice thing is, and if you don't have the die cut, you can always, well, this one might be a little harder to cut out, but a pair is pretty easy to cut out. So you can even use the pair. And then let me flip it. I don't have a lot of space here because I got really low. So here's all the back sides. They're nice neutrals that complement the fronts because it is pretty busy paper. And you need those neutrals to kind of tone it down and make it more elegant. The other thing that I'm going to be using, let me show you these cute little, here's the card that we're going to make. We're going to make a corner fold card, and I don't think I've ever done this before. So it's really cute. You just fold down this corner, and you use the opposite of the paper that you're using, or you can use another piece of paper, and I'll show you how to do that too so that you can get this triangle right. And then, of course, this cute stamp set. Here's this one. Here's another one. Here's the one similar that we're going to make today. See how I just used the die cut to cut that pair out. And then this one. There is a stamp set that I am using that I was at a workshop. And here is all the different sentiments on there, and there's a ton of them. Lots of love, time to celebrate. It's just a really good overall one. But what is so clever about it is it has this die cut sheet. Look at that. And it's all together, and you just run it through and you get all of these backgrounds for your sentiments. Isn't that clever? I just thought that was really cool. Look at all those different ones that you can use. And these would fit other sentiments too that you would have. So, all right, so let's get started with making our card. The first thing you're going to need, of course, is your card base, and it's a basic card base. It is the 8.5 by 5.5. And so we're going to score it. Ooh, I have a little hair. I'm shedding today. We're going to score it at 4.25. And I get my score tool out and score it. And so that's going to give you this nice score line. And so then I'm going to go ahead and fold it. There's that nice. So now you can really see that score line. Okay, that's the important part, because to make that fold, you're going to use the score line, and then you're going to measure. This is how I do it. You can use it with a ruler. I just use my cutter. So I'm going to move it up to 2 inches. I'm going to slide it down here, 2 inches. And so I know at 2 inches is right here. So I'm going to make a little pencil mark on my paper right in this little gutter here, because this going out here is 2 inches. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. Now this is the hardest part of the whole card, and once you do this, you're golden. Okay, first off, you want to get your cutter out of the way, because you're not going to cut it, you're going to score it, because you want it to fold down. So we're going to put this in here with your gutter. We're going to line it up, and then we're going to line up the other one with the little pencil mark and make sure they're lined up. And then we're going to take our scorer and we're going to score it just like that. Okay, so then that is going to make this your little bend down. Look at that. And I love this new two-tone paper that they have. Isn't that pretty? It just blends so nicely. All right, so then the next thing you do, I'm going to fold this back for a minute because I'm going to need a plain piece of paper, plain piece of white paper. I thought I had one cut out, but I guess I could cut another one out. And then I'm going to also need a piece of pattern paper. So I'm going to use this really pretty with this pears. Now, if you noticed on the other card that I made, this is the back side. So this, I use this as the big part, and then this as the little triangle part that I cut off. So now, instead, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make this the pretty pattern, and then make this little part here the green part. So let's do a little switcheroo here for that. I'm going to look for that little white piece of paper, because the other thing that you need for your inside of your, I think I covered it up. I did with the stamp set. I'm just so silly. Okay, so this is for the inside of your card, so you can write your sentiment or whatever on here, and so you want it to be 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is already a piece that's 4 inches, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 5 1/4. And there we go. So this we're cutting, and then we're going to have this little piece left. And so now I'm going to get the cutter out of the way, and I want the pretty pears on the front. So now to get it to flip, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see how I'm lining that up. So there's a nice little green border all the way around. And then I'm going to mark this piece, because it is a little smaller. So I'm going to mark this piece just slightly above where that fold is. See where this fold is? So I'm lining this up right here so it's centered, and then I'm going to mark this piece of paper, my designer series paper, just a little bit above where that fold is. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cutter back again. I got to find it again now. Okay, and then I'm going to line up where that pencil mark was, which is going to be kind of hard to see now because it's on a piece of pattern paper. I have to line it up again to see where that, maybe I need a bigger piece of pencil. All right, so I'm going to put this right here, line it up. Hopefully I'm in the camera. And I want a nice little even border all the way around. And I'm going to take my little pencil mark, and I'm going to put my pencil mark right on that. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and my pencil mark's right here, and I'm going to line it back. The pencil mark goes right here, and then to this corner right here. And now I'm going to cut. And that is going to give me my fold down piece. All right, so here is my piece of my cardstock with my pretty thing. This is going to line up like this with the border. let's go ahead and I'm going to get the cutter out of the way just so that you can see better and I have an easier surface to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and take some adhesive, and I like this green glue because it gives me a little bit of where I can wiggle it a little bit before it completely dries. I'm just going to put some glue all the way around the edge of the pattern paper. Love this pattern paper. Love this green. Isn't this pretty? It would make pretty green. The green would make nice Christmas cards too. So, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of glue in the middle. And so now this gives me a little wiggle room, and I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to just center. So there's a little border all the way around the card. And now I can fold this back. And this piece that I cut off here I'm going to flip it, and it should match up perfectly. And it's pretty darn close, which is really good. So I got a really skinny little border. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to just take my glue and put it on the edges and go ahead and just line this up on this and give it a nice little skinny border. Look at that. There you go. Nice little skinny border. And I like it because I can slide it a little bit to where I like it in place. So I could have probably cut that a little farther down, but that is good enough. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece here. I'm going to take my glue again, and I'm just going to go ahead and insert it on the inside of my card. Make sure I get the sides really good. And I'll open this up, and we'll do this on the inside, and I'm just going to center this again in here so I have that border. Okay, so here is my nice fold. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these sentiments. Here's congratulations. I have love you lots. Then I have this little die cut pear out of here. I'm going to put that, I think I'm going to put that like right there. I don't know if I want to do congratulations. That looks kind of nice, doesn't it? Or do I want to put love, lots of love? Could do thank you. There's, I could do any sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here and just kind of center that like that. I think that looks so cute. And I don't mind that this is flipped up a little bit on my card, because even when I mail it, it's going to look really nice, on my card. And I probably could put some adhesive on the back of this too, just to kind of get this to stay laying down. All right, here we go. We'll just hold that for a second. Now I have to decide, do I want to use it as a congratulations? I think I want to do the lots of love. So I'm going to put lots of love, and I'll just put it like there, on there. And that one, I think I'm going to go ahead. I could use maybe I'll go ahead and just use the green glue again. So I'll just do a little strip of glue there. Try to get it without getting too much glue on my fingers. And then just kind of glue that down like that. There we go. That looks really cute. All right, there's my card. All right, so now with this leftover piece, I could put a little, I could cut a little border and put it on the inside. Now let me show you a little trick too. I want to show you another little trick. If you're not real happy with how your triangle comes out, if you don't feel like you had enough, wide enough, whoop, I didn't let my glue stick long enough. Isn't that cute? I love that. All right, you can cut it, because I had some issues. That's the biggest issue, is this little triangle, and I'll tell you, I had some issues with it. So I played around a little bit, what you can do is you can take, let's see if I can find my measurements here because I wrote it on a piece of paper. You know what? I could even use like just a scrap piece of paper. That's a good idea. Use a scrap piece of paper instead of my beautiful paper. Okay, so I'm going to cut, where did I put those measurements? I have too much going on, but, okay, it was 3 3/4, I believe, or was it 2 3/4? It was 2 3/4. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. 2 3/4. No, it was 3 3/4. 3 3/4, and you're gonna cut it. And then it was 1 3/4, and cut it again. So then you have this little piece here. See, I could have used this, but it's just not quite wide enough. So here's my scratch, and then take it from angle to angle. Now the thing is, with your fold going here, from here, you're going to want to go from the right top to the left bottom. So we want to turn it like this, depending on your pattern. I mean, on a white piece of paper it isn't going to matter, but on your pattern you want to make sure that the angle is going the right way. So you want to go corner to corner from the right side top to the left bottom. And I found this will give me a perfect triangle for this card. So let's get it lined up. My fingers are sticky from the glue. When I get into glue, I have to get it all over everywhere, including my fingers and all that stuff. So there you go. So you want it right in that little cutting groove, corner to corner. Okay, we're going to cut that. And now you have a perfect triangle that will fit in there and give you a nice little border. So if you ever have an issue with not having a wide enough border, there you go. 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4. So for a 2-inch down thing. So I hope that really helps you a lot. You know, one of the things I think I'm going to do, because I did cut some other angles when I practiced, I think I'm going to use my little angles to put in here at the bottom. Isn't that cute? I think that'd be really cute. All right, I'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for joining me, and I hope I helped you discover some fun. So have fun playing this week. Bye-bye.